What's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a good Saturday. I just felt led to speak about something really quick. I watched a video a minute ago about this guy who was making funeral arrangements for his daughter. She died of an opiate overdose. And in that video, it shared a pretty frightening reality that every day, I think it was 123 families lose a child to overdosing every day in America. And I was thinking about how, I've overdosed so many times. So many times I used to chase that feeling because that was when I got the highest. And I was thinking about how, I was talking with a brother earlier about how, dude, the life that we used to live, we used to sit in hotels cooped up, chasing this high, chasing something that would fill that void within us, and nothing would ever fill us up. And today, looking at my life, while my life isn't perfect, it is transformed. I am not the person that I used to be. I am not the skinhead that I used to be. I am not the junkie that I used to be. Today, I'm standing here a new creation, and that's only because of Jesus. I remember when someone came into my life, and the first time I heard the gospel, I laughed. Yeah, right. There's no way that a holy God would love such an unholy person. There's no way that the King of the Jews would love a skinhead, a Nazi. There's no way. But you see, God, in his pursuit, he chased after me. He kept knocking at the door of my heart. And I'm making this because I know there's people on my Facebook that are struggling with addiction, that feel like they've dug their hole so deep there's no way they can possibly get themselves out. Well, guess what, guys? I couldn't get myself out either. There was no way that I had the strength to pull myself out of the pit that I had dug. It was impossible. It was impossible that I was ever going to get off heroin. I still have the track marks and the scars to remember it. But you see, the reality is that God is exactly who he says he is, that he did come down and manifest himself in the flesh, that Jesus Christ is God in the flesh, that he did come down and live a perfect life and die on that cross for me, and that he rose from the grave on the third day. That is true. And the only reason that I know that is true isn't because somebody told me, isn't because I read it in the Bible, but it's because I've seen it in my life. But because when I finally repented and when I really gave my life to Jesus, I've seen him transform my life. Now, obviously, in the beginning of my walk, there was no transformation when I had that initial step of faith. Someone proclaimed the gospel to me, and that compelled me to believe. Because when I came to believe, that was by faith, and by faith is by hearing the word of God. I know that there's someone out there that's struggling. I know you're bound in chains of your addiction. I know you don't know how you're ever possibly going to quit, and you probably want to die. But I just want to remind you that Jesus died so that you don't have to. That he died on that cross so that you can spend eternity with him in heaven. Narrow is the way that leads to life, and few will find it. But broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many will find it. Jesus paved the way to us that leads to glory. And guys, I want to encourage you and promise you and let you know that there's no addictions in heaven. And we can be free from them today. I love you guys. Jesus is our only hope. I know many that are in recovery. I know many that are in recovery that are free. And I was in recovery for years. But today, the life that I have today is completely different than what I've ever experienced. I have a true freedom. I don't have a desire to use anymore. Jesus has truly, truly set me free. And guess what? He can set you free too. I love you. Don't give up. Your life is priceless. If you don't believe me, look to the cross.